anyway, the knot that we're going to be talking about today is the Bowline knot, B-O-W-L-I-N-E, Bowline. And it's a very versatile knot. It's a very, very useful knot. You can use it for rigging, you can use it for pulling, towing, all different kinds of stuff you can use it for. And I'm going to show you how to tie what's called a classic bowline. And I'm going to tie it kind of large so you'll be able to see it. But I've got the rope, and I'm going to create a loop. I'm just going to kind of turn and twist that rope to create that loop with the opening facing back towards me. I'm going to place my thumb right there at the cross of that loop to hold that loop in place. Then I'm going to take the working end and come through that loop from the back side, come down and around the standing end, and then stick that working end right back through that loop. See that? See how the loop comes through, the working end comes through the loop, goes around the standing end of the rope, back around and back through that loop. At that point, you want to grasp those two ropes right there that were formed by coming through the loop and back through the loop. Then you want to pull the standing end, and that's what gives you your classic bowline knot. The tag end of the rope now comes out into the very center of that loop, and that's considered a classic bowline. Now let's tie that again. The one thing that the bowline characteristic of the bowline is you can put as much pressure on this knot as you want to, and the loop will not tighten up and the knot will not seize it, so you can always untie it. Got the rope, we're going to form that knot, that loop with the opening facing towards us. Going to put our thumb on where they cross right there to hold it together. Bring the standing end through from the back side, go around the standing end and back through the loop. Then we're going to grasp those two ropes there and pull it tight. That is a standard bowline. And you may say, well, that makes a great loop, and it does. It makes a great loop. Like I say, you can put all the pressure you want to on it. It's not going to tighten up. It's not going to cinch up, and I'll show you that in just a minute. They call this a Yosemite bowline, and I think it's just a neat finish to it. Same thing, make your loop, opening towards you. You got to have a little bit more tag in, not a whole lot. Come through, back around, just like you did. Tie that classic bowline. Grab that, pull it, and then you've got your classic bowline. And now you want to take that standing end, go under and around, and then bring that tag end right back out that loop. And that's called a Yosemite bowline. And now your tag end is actually laying parallel with your standing line. That makes a real clean loop, and I use that knot a lot. I like to finish my bowline that way a lot. I think it gets it more clean, and I think it just works better. You don't have that tag end stuck in the middle there to hang on stuff or get in the way. Now I want to show you how you could attach that particular loop like to the bar on this trailer, the rail on this trailer. You take and make that loop, and then go ahead and run your line around the bar on that trailer. Come through, around and back through, and then cinch your knot up. And whether or not you do the Yosemite finish or not is up to you. But now you've got that loop tied around that trailer bar, and you can pull whatever you want to with that, and it's like I say, it's not going to seize up. and it's not going to tighten up. That loop's going to stay that same size the whole time, and it's going to be easy to untie. Show that one more time. Make your loop, opening towards you. Go around your rail or whatever it is you're wanting to tie around. Come through the loop, around the tagging, the standing end, back through the loop. Pull tight to create your bowline, and that's all there is to it. And like I say, that's as far as you have to go with it. I really do like to finish mine with that Yosemite finish. I call it the Yosemite finish. I like to finish it with that and get that tag in, lay in parallel with the main line. But that's the bowline knot. And that's not the only way you can use it, and I'm going to show you several different ways you can use that knot. But that's how you tie the bowline, and that's how you could create or tie that loop around whatever it is that you want to attach to with that way. Now you can also do what's called a running bowline, and you want to go ahead and bring your rope around whatever it is that you want to attach to. Then you can drop that line. You got your working in here. Go ahead and make your loop. But at this point, you want to go around that working end. Come through, around, back through. And then now you can cinch that rope up, and it'll pull tight. So if you wanted to hook to that, but you didn't want it just to be on the loop where it could slide from side to side, you can tie what's called that's a running bowline. Now a lot of the tree guys use that knot, and it's a great knot for tree work. And I'll step over this tree. I'll show you a little something. Say if you were climbing this tree and you wanted to tie off, so you're up in the tree, you want to tie off to it so you can use this rope to pull directional on that tree to help it fall where you want it to fall. But anyway, you go ahead and throw the rope around the tree. You got the rope around the tree. This is your working in on my left hand, standing in on my right hand. You can go ahead, cross under it, and then come back here, form your loop, tie your bowline, cinch it tight, and then you've got your running bowline tied around that tree, and then it won't cinch up, and it won't give way. You know that knot's going to be secure. It's going to stay right there, and then you can pull that tree or limb or whatever it is you're cutting with that rope. Let your rope hold the standing in, and make your loop, go through and around. Okay, so we're talking about the bowline knot, and showed you how to tie the regular bowline. Then I showed you how to tie the running bowline. And now the last one that I'm going to show you before we put this to use, and I do some demonstrations on how well this knot does work, is I'm going to show you how to do what's called a bowline on a bite. Now the great thing about this knot is you can tie this anywhere along the length of that rope. You know, this rope's probably 75 foot long, and you know, I have ropes that are 100, 150. I've got one 200-foot rope. So, you know, if all you had was that 100-foot rope and you only need to go 30 foot, and then, you know, that would be a great time to know how to tie this knot along the length of that rope. What you do, you take that rope and form a loop. Let the two ropes lay side by side, and then you take the loop and you tie a square knot. Just tie a regular old square knot, just like that. Now, once you've tied that square knot, if you were to hook that into, say if you hook that into the winch and to pull your truck with, by the time you got your truck pulled out, you'd never get that untied. That would be cinched down so tight you'd never get it back untied. So you want to finish it with a bowline. So you tie that square knot, stick your hand through that loop, reach and grab those same two ropes on the other side of that loop right there, and then take that loop that your hand's through, pass it over, and then pull it tight. And as you can see right there, there's your bowline. See that bowline knot right there? That is the bowline knot. And it won't cinch up, and it won't tighten down. You can untie it when you get done with it. Now, there's a little trick to untying a bowline on a bite. You want to take that loop and pull it and take it back across. Just like you run it across, you want to run it back across. And then it unties real easy. If you don't do that, it doesn't untie real easy. I mean, it'll untie, but it's a lot easier if you remember to do that. So, anywhere along the length of that rope, don't have to be right at the end or anything. You want to tie a loop it together, tie your square knot, stick your hand through the loop, grab that line, bring your loop across your hand, cinch it down, and there is your bowline on a bite. Now I'm going to demonstrate to you how well this works, how useful this knot can be, especially in an outdoor situation where maybe you're out going through trails or something in your truck or Jeep, and you get stuck and you want to hook your winch up and pull yourself out. Maybe you don't have enough winch line to go all the way to where you need to go to, or whatever, and you need to get a rope on it. And I'm going to show you how to make that hook up and use this rope, use that knot, and make it work out. I'll get it set up. I'll be right back. Okay guys, here's the scenario. You can see my truck, and I'm just pretending right now that my truck is, I'm out riding in the woods, just out trail riding, whatever, and my truck's stuck. I can't get out. 4-wheel drive, won't get it out, can't get out. Got nothing else, but I got this nice winch. But my winch will only reach to right here. And I need to get to that tree right there in order to hook it up. So I got my rope out. I'm gonna use this rope and I'm gonna attach it to this tree right here for my anchor point. And I'm gonna do that by tying a bowline knot. And I'm gonna go make my loop. We'll go around that tree. Pretty good catch there, isn't it? We'll go through the back of the loop, around, back through the loop, and there's my bowline. Okay, so I'm attached to the tree. I'm gonna come down here, and I've got this rope. I make my way down, and there's the end of my winch. Now, I've still got a bunch of rope left. So I don't want to, if I just tied a loop in the end of that thing, a regular bowline knot, then I'd lose all my winch cable before I got my truck up here where it needs to go. So now I'm going to use that bowline on a bite. I'm going to make my loop. I'm going to tie my square knot. I'm going to reach through the loop, grab those two ropes, bring that loop over, and create my bowline on a bite. So now it's right where I need it. Now, before I start pulling, this is all I had. I didn't have, I went through the truck, and I actually do have some winch pads in there, but I was doing this in a scenario you don't have anything. I do have this small backpack. It's got some of my fly fishing stuff in it. I'm just going to slide it over that rope, that cable, get it down about halfway, and then I'm going to hook that winch cable into that loop. And now I can start trying to pull my truck up out of the mud. Okay, I got the truck running. I've got it in neutral. I've got this backpack I'm using for a cable weight, and it's more just like a bumper, a baffle. Not the perfect thing, but I wanted to show you that I mean, better off having something than nothing. Got the truck in neutral, and it's hot out here. All right, I'm gonna slowly tighten up. That's putting a lot of pressure on that rope. Let's go down here and look. This rope is a heavy duty rope, and it's rated for enough weight to pull that truck. Look at it, you could just about walk across it. You could just about walk across it. And normally, you know, in a situation like that, you would be in there helping the truck. See, it's creeping along. So that's just that dead weight of that truck. I'm not giving it any help at all, nothing but the winch. Pulling that big old F250. Letting it use it almost like a spring, loading that rope. Letting it pull. It's not one of those spring-loaded ropes, but as you can tell, that actually works good. All right, I think we put enough pressure on that rope that if it's going to cinch down, then it's going to cinch down. We're going to get in and go ahead and put it in park, cut it off, and now a lot of pressure, and we're going to back off on the rope. You always want to wear gloves anytime you're working with a steel cable winch. You definitely want to have gloves on, because those little cable burrs will get in your hand, and it really does hurt. All right, so we're going to unhook up here. Now, there we go. All right. You got your truck out of the mud, and now it's time to gather up your rope. Okay guys, I went ahead and got the cable put away in the winch, and got it layered back on there real good. And now we're going to untie this rope. Now for a fact, you guys saw I had a lot of pressure on this rope, a lot of pressure. This is a real strong rope, and it'll hold a lot of pressure. But that knot, can you imagine if you'd have just hooked it at that square knot loop that you make in the beginning of making this knot? You'd never get to, your rope would be ruined. You'd have a permanent loop in that particular section. You'd lose a lot of rope because you'd have to cut it, or either just leave that loop in it and leave that other end long. But with the bowline knot, after all that pressure, and I haven't done anything to it, I just now picked it up. Come in here, release that, bring that loop over, back through, and you are totally untied, good to go. Let's go over here to where we hooked to the tree. This knot had just as much pressure on it. As you can tell, I put a load on it. I mean, you guys saw it. I put a horrible load on it. Take and break that knot over, pull that out, and you're done. And that's why the bowline knot is such a great knot. It's very versatile, and after you learn all the different ways to tie it, and all the different ways to use it, and all the different things that can be done with it, you'll wonder how you ever made that without knowing how to tie a bowline knot. All right guys, well, watch the video, learn how to tie that knot, practice it, practice it, practice it, practice it, so that when you need it, you don't have to think, now how did I do that? Practice it when you're at home, even the evenings watching TV, have you a small piece of rope and just sit there and tie that bowline over and over and over, tie that Yosemite bowline, tie that bowline on a bite, and tie the running bowline, and learn those knots, and you'll be glad you did. I promise you. Hey, if this is your first time to my channel, if you like what you see, enjoy the video, how about subscribing please, and give me a thumbs up, hit that bell, so you'll when I do, I'm going to do several more of these knot tying videos. When I get another one, you hit that bell, then you'll know when I upload it. And hit that like button. Give me all those views. Give me all the views you can. Help me grow my channel, because I got a lot of stuff I want to do. A lot of good stuff coming. All right, guys. Y'all take it easy. Stay away from that COVID. We'll see you on the next one.